year long. I mean, in the beginning he struggled a bit, but who struggled most recently is Icy. Yeah, G2 took that win away from EDG, but it was so close. It was 13-11. And Fnatic, they're 6-0 on Haven this year, Doug, ever since it came back into the map pool.
Yeah, spotless record. But G2 has decided to take a step into that ring. It's a map that hasn't necessarily been weak for them either. I mean, they've only played it 3 times, but every single one has been close. They've won 2 of them. So it's not like they're slouches on this map necessarily.
Yeah, neither of these teams are going to be slouches on any of these maps in the map pool. So evenly matched, it feels like. And it's just quiet across the board right now from G2. A very, very slow approach. They showed top C, broke the camera, but it didn't bait out any rotations from the side of Fnatic.
That's a dink on Valorant already. If they decide to continue to go B, you've got Durka who's close by, you've got Boaster there with him.
Yeah. Members of Fnatic need to be careful from this front B pop from G2, that Yoru flash. It could be so hard to dodge.
I think that's why they're playing off of it, and as soon as it goes off, they know they can try to refill it onto this side. Trent back already through, taking care of Boaster, but the trade is timely. It's perfect. Durka's not able to get it. His hero does. 2 kills on the round for him. But they've managed to get the spike down. G2 in these post-play positions found, again, just down to 19 HP. It's just a tap. It's just a threat. Just enough to try to get him out of position. Do they have a flash? Do they have anything? They all just swing out. They all just face. And they're outnumbered. Fnatic will get the pistol.
And you're right, the approach from Fnatic in front B, they understood when that Viper orb goes up, they need to be careful, they need to back up. And the flood in, it was almost perfect. Boaster, his paranoia was on point, but he just couldn't connect the shots, and he ended up going down first. But the flood from Hero, the flood from Durka, it was too much for these boys of G2 to handle. And the 4v2, they're not going to throw it this time around.
I was going to say something, but I didn't know what to say.
Hey.
Choosing to stay family friendly is Boaster at the beginning of this. We'll see if that's the case though as the series goes on. I mean, there's both. You think about this matchup between Boaster and Valen. They're such deep competitors, right? Like they're the quintessential fighter. Both of them are.
And they have such a deep map pool, a deep strat book. And the coaching staff that's behind them as well. I say that as Leaf just takes the head off of Durka. That's a Bulldog gone now from Fnatic. And on a map like this with 3 bomb sites, when you drop a member early like that, you are really spread thin. That's why you see this proactivity on the mini-map from Fnatic. It's a double A long approach. G2, they need to be careful right now because Alfier, if he gets heated up, it's going to be over.
Yeah, the terror that can be an ISO.
Yeah, he's been superb on it as well.
A little bit of tap there, not connecting the shots, but honestly, Jonah P, it was a bit labored. It took a little bit of time, but ultimately does connect. It's a 3v3, but it doesn't feel like a solid one. It doesn't feel like a comfortable one. It just feels inevitable. Alpha gets his 3 as Fnatic at the second.
And that's something that I said G2 need to be very wary of. Once he gets on fire, especially towards this A site, you're going to see Alfier taking a lot of swings down short A. And he's going to hit those shots 9 times out of 10, let alone the fact that he got 3 into that round to build towards that ultimate. And yeah, it was costly for Fnatic, but they ended up saving the majority of the guns that they needed. And Alfier, he's popping off already. That first peek that he did, it was a little interesting, a little dicey, but he settled. Now he's sitting at 3-0 with a Vandal to his name. 3 orbs off of his ultimate.
See that cheeky little vulnerable shock setup. Icy's been dropped. Leaf has 2. This is an excellent start out for Fnatic.
Yeah, picks across the board. And off of utility in mid as well. The 1-2 punch, the Yoru walking down. They swing out. Boaster is going to have a tough ask in the backside here. He is alone, but they don't know he's here.
Meanwhile, Fnatic is getting a ton of info. You've got Durka who's pushed down C long. You had the drone come out from Chronicle towards A, and they've got him fully funneled into the middle of the map, and they know that. The paranoia is going to be a little bit wide, but Valorant shots do connect. Now they can flush back C. The thing is, I don't know that they really have a good idea of where Durka is.
I think they might have a notion that somebody could be down C long, and that's why they're planning for CT right now. And this drone, it's going to get good info on where Alfier is.
Again, Durka is the problem, and the problem has not been solved.
Nasty work from Durka. What a transfer.
That's a scary sight for G2 fans. If he's hitting like that already.
Oh, he commits to the TP back side.
Jonah P fully surrounded in a 1v3. No idea where Durka was. Fully left guessing. And Fnatic win the bonus. This is an excellent start.
Yeah, it was a big investment. Had it not gone their way, maybe the economy isn't that great, but with how these players are already coming into form in the first 3 rounds that we've seen so far, yeah, that's something you're going to see Alpha here do quite a bit. They're looking on point right now. And the proactivity from G2 to bring that back to a 3v3, it was pretty good, but
then Durka happened.
Yeah, then Durka happened. That transfer was too much. And when you think about Fnatic...
This is my boss boy, bro. Good job. Nice kid.
and when you think about Fnatic as a team, they only really tend to struggle against very, very highly talented players that have good mechanics, everything. And it's not that that's a dig to G2. They have great mechanics, but they rely on more of their fundamentals and the high percentage plays in order to win. That gives Fnatic a lot of breathing room to be confident in their own aim.
Jonah P doesn't have a ton of breathing room here. You look at the mini-map, you've got Alpha who's taken all of A long, you've got Chronicle again up A short. But they've managed to get him in there now. The middle of the map has been taken, the Paranoia is out towards Garage.
It's flawless.
The question is, how much more is concealed? Do they realize where the rest of G2 are? He's going to try to get out.
They know where Jonah P is, and he's going to fall shortly.
Alfier's waiting on the other side. It was that spacey that you taken at the very beginning of the round. He shouldn't be able to get away with anything.
That's a clone, buddy.
Yeah.
So it's a stall towards front B again. Last time G2 were down numbers, this is where they decided to go. And I think Fnatic are a little bit ahead of this. Durka got that pick in short A. He's the forefront. Can't connect yet.
This is notably more difficult. Remember the last time they did this, they had the Viper Orb that they could play around.
And they also had rifles. Oh, that shield. So damning.
There's really no way for them to fight back to this, at least not in this round. So a flawless one comes through for Fnatic as they get to 4, and I think it's concerning as we look into the next because Fnatic have a couple of ults to speak of. Durka has his, Alfier has his, and then you've got, I believe, both Hero and Chronicle close.
And they haven't stopped at all. It's been aggressiveness every single round so far from the side of Fnatic. But the difference is once they get those key kills, they fall back and they play as a unit. It's looking very cohesive right now. And very smothering for the side of G2. It's going to be an early, not even giving that A short space. It's an awesome approach. A lot of good prep work has been done from the side of Fnatic. They seem to have a good read on how to play against this double controller.
What's the adjustment for G2 on the other side of the timeout? You've got Trent, one away from having his Hunter's Fury. An aggressive TP out from Valen to get into Cubby. And a dart to buy some space. But again, you see the utility being exchanged from the defense.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is what G2 needed to do. They needed to shut down this A control. If Alfier is there, push him back, at least get his shield off of him. But he's not even here this time. He's waiting for a 1v1 opportunity. He has that ISO ultimate online.
That was so dangerous. The drone expiring just before it catches a couple of members.
But as soon as anybody makes contact around the map, Alpha's going to pop that shield. He's going to ult. So if G2 take too long, here it comes. Here's the 1v1.
Alpha and Leaf on the other side. He's got full health. He's got full armor. But how do you deal with the double tap?
It's too hard. Not at this high of a level. Most of the time, the ISO will win that exchange.
On the other, it seems like they're going to try to get out onto the side. Not going to lie to you guys, didn't really see what happened there, but lo and behold, they've managed to get decently far out. You've got the Paranoia coming out, the Decay as well.
30 seconds left.
But it's
Durka's in
again.
such a good spot, but Jonah P just decapitates him. Boaster able to respond at least a little bit. Now a 2v2 as the spike goes down. It's leaving Trent on his own. He's got 2 shots, but position's been given away. Knife out. Shots not settled. And again, Trent has to go. No armor. That's not the right weapon in that position. The defuse will come through, and again, they're going to continue to feed this in Alpha. They want to lean into his ult.
Yeah, he just used it. He already got full 4 ult orbs into that round. And you see the value of the ISO on this map. The way that G2 like to play this composition is to do a little bit of a push and pull. They like to break utility, make teams second guess. But you can't do that if you're getting ulted. Wherever you make noise, whether that was going to be at A, whether that's in Garage, he's going to ult you. He's going to take the 1v1. And with his mechanical skill,
Yeah, forget it.
it's over. He has a shield on him.
9-0 so far. And again, more than halfway to having his ult online.
The desk was talking about how Fnatic struggle when they start off slow. Or even when things just don't go their way. Keep in mind against Heretic, they lost a 4v2 to start the match. This time around, they're so confident because they won the 4v2.
I mean, it's perfect. It's a map that they're familiar with, a map that's netted them a ton of success. And the beginning of this could not be any better. Kupiko's traded 1-for-1 Leaf with a lighter. Well, lighter weaponry here, just a Stinger.
Yes.
But he's the tip of the spear with Jonah P close by. They're going to invest the pit into this? Boaster's just waiting on the other side. But Trent is too. Surely he's been spotted. They've got to know that he's there.
Trent is so far away, just now going to get in range to use that Hunter's Fury if need be.
So they have full A main control. But the pit is down, and that's going to make this so much more difficult. Leaf's going to fall too. A 2v4 that needs to go the way of G2 for any semblance of hope, and it does not look like that will be the case. What in the world can Trent do? Outnumbered and dead. 6-0 the way of Fnatic, and that's another ISO ult online.
What a retake from Fnatic. That was a chef's kiss moment. It can be so hard to go up against a Viper's Pit, especially when it's all in CT, but opting to just go through window. And Durka in that entire moment, after this kill comes down, he still has a clone, he still has a flash if need be. And you can't just not shoot the clone.
Right, you have to.
When that Viper's Pit comes down on Trent's screen, he's shooting whatever's in front of him.
I'm feeling today.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's 11-0.
I believe it. I believe it 1,000%. Defensive op-out in the hands of Durka.
It's interesting. In the last series, we saw Boaster pick up the defensive op quite a bit. But this time, maybe Durka is feeling it in his own right. And Leaf, oh
Leaf
my
again.
gosh.
He's got a Bulldog, light armor. Alpha here again, trying to pest him out, but this time the duel goes the way of G2. Now, what's the response? Where do they go from here?
It's going to be aggressiveness down C long for Durka. He's going to get some info, but his TP is leaning towards A. So G2 need to be very careful right now because they might be running into the remaining 3 members of Fnatic.
If they commit to this, they're freezing real.
I mean, this Odin could do so much damage against light armor.
Yeah, 1,000%.
You just spray and pray, get a little bit of a collat. Oh, that's why the Killjoy ultimate is invested, but there's still 2 trips to play off of. Chronicle, he's going hunting. He might find the timing.
He's exploring. Valen's there on the other side. He's got to spot him, and he does. The Stinger up close nets him another win. A 5v2, but again, remember, it's lighter weaponry. It's not great. It's a Bulldog and an Odin. Patience out from Hero. A 2v4 would be devastating. It would be back-breaking.
Durka's going to save this operator, surely.
I mean, he's got plenty of money.
Wait a second.
The newcomer.
Durka's doubling back.
For this Fnatic roster. He's continued to knock on the door. He's continued to unlock the bolts, and he might be able to swing this back in their favor, but heads-up awareness from Trent. Now Durka has no choice but to get out. Not in that situation. G2 will finally get on the board. Again, I don't know that they can necessarily even upgrade any weapons. They're going to carry over Valen's Odin, but that might be it. Oh, Trent does grab something there.
Yeah, he grabs the Vandal. But Leaf drops anyways. I guess he only had a Bulldog. It was a light investment from the side of G2. But winning that round, that was a must-win round for G2 to get any type of momentum back in their favor. And Leaf winning the head-to-head this time around. Durka, Alpha Year, apologies, could not settle the shots.
He tried his best at it again. Chronicle's patience there was so nice. Sat there for what felt like an eternity and then just got a little bit too far up. So G2 get on the board. Get that monkey off their back. Now you've got 4 rifles and the Odin to speak of.
Still have the operator on the side of Fnatic, though.
Dude, so much aggression. What a combo. Could you imagine if they were trying to take a main there?
Yeah, they would have gotten decimated. One-shotted because of that vulnerable that ISO can throw.
And the paranoia out from Boaster. You wouldn't see a damn thing.
Yoru Clone is so good against the Cypher. Breaks all the trips in Alpha. He's going crazy right now. It's 1-for-1, though.
Leaf again. able to clean him up and have his number. Trent pop the ult, not really going to connect out onto anything. They have a little bit of garage control, but the thing is they don't realize that there's somebody right behind them nipping at his heels. It's Durka again getting as much info as he can. Meanwhile, Boaster's trying to do a bit of the same, but Trent anchored in. We'll clean him up. What's the rest of this retake look like for Fnatic? The drone will create a little bit of space. No ultimates on the side of the attack.
No smokes on the side of the defense either, so it's just going to be complete RNG. That's a good start, though, yeah.
That's a big one, but Leaf's timing. He's given his position away. He's only able to find one. It's going to be Chronicle on his own. A tap of the spike into the swing, and Jonah P will best him. G2 get their second.
Good proactivity after that kill on the flank by Trent. And so far, we've seen Trent. He's sitting all the way back most of the time that G2 get on the site and get that spike planted. They're aware that Fnatic like to use flanks. After that kill comes through, the double flank. Yeah, there's a bit of a whiffage going on from Leaf, but no one's ready for Jonah P in this moment. The numbers game too much in favor.
Alpha just jumps out the window smoke.
Yeah, G2 are going to need to be more aware of the crazy plays that can happen against this basically double duelist comp of ISO and Yoru. I mean, that's another free pick, but I think that'll spam this time around. And the 1-2-3 punch.
They're investing so much into denying this A main control from G2.
A main mid.
I mean, every single round, if it's either the Decay Shock or it's the Paranoia with the Vulnerable and then the Hunter's Fury, like, they're dumping so much into this area of the map, and I think that makes the game plan very clear. Fnatic walked in with the intention of denying that space, and so far they've done so.
And this is why I'm so surprised that G2 aren't ready for this. This was a set play that Fnatic had already previously ran like 2 or 3 times. Durka walks down mid, Hero swings off of him. Alfier, of course, he's just gonna peek A.
Not shock.
Yeah.
Just a little short.
This is just such a hard post plant to play. There's 3 members flanking long. And still an Omen Paranoia for Boaster. It gets committed. Hero just absolutely decimates Valen. And deleted from the server.
And Trent's left in a 1v4. That first shock will go out. The spam coming through will clean up 2. But there's still so much work to be done. Note, Boaster did not get it to half. Now finally done so. The classic just cannot connect.
Yeah, not enough ammo in that Vandal. And Fnatic taking the disciplined approach, playing all together. Yeah, they get collided through a smoke, but still, it's a 4v1 in that moment. Oh, the turn from the Yoru flash, but that's the weird thing, that turret. Leaf thought that it would clear that spot of mid, but Durka, he just knows. He's so aware of what that turret can actually see and how he can finesse around it.
And that's part of the issue is I think not only are they willing to invest so much utility into A main, but then you've got Alpha filling the space behind it. So yeah, you can try to wait out the shock and you can wait out this, that, and the other, but then what?
Look at this. Another walk down mid, this time with more members. That turret does not clear this box. Leaf, oh my goodness!
He's punished again. First it was Alfier, now it's Durka.
That was such a nasty shot. Off of the jump spot, you have to be so precise to hit that. And right now, if you're G2, it just feels like you can't do anything. You cannot take control of mid. You need to start doing a different turret, maybe through window. But the problem is Fnatic were ready for that adaptation. They had 3 players, front B, ready to spam window.
Every single corner seems to be considered for Fnatic. He stuck that. He stuck that right into Hero's lap. He's going to get a second on Valen too.
So risky.
I imagine there was a flash behind it or something. I'm sure we're going to see that on the replay, but I think the story doesn't change. Jonah P has gotten 3 on the round. He's going to have to get 2 more. An ace to potentially just get G2 their 3rd round of the half.
Problem is, Fnatic have the spike in full control. They can see it. It's in their sights, and it's a crossfire in garage. This is impossible.
How in the world does Jonah P do that? He can't. This has been near perfect Valorant out from Fnatic.
Yeah, other than the MasterCard Thrifty that G2 got, there was only, what, 1 other round they won? That was, oh my, yeah, that's absurd. That is absurd.
She killed me jump spotting, bro. 4-4.
With a Phantom, too.
It's disgusting. Disgusting work.
And there was Hero dealing with what Icy was trying to get backside on.
So limited on what you can do on the Yoru, especially on the attacking side. And Icy, he's sitting at 2 and 10 right now. He's struggling again.
I mean, all of G2 struggling.
Yeah. Oh, man.
This time it's Trent.
Oh, he's
just trying to take the fight right to him. But Alfir, 2 for 3 on the Gulag this map.
Yeah, and off of that, Durka gets all that free space. There's a triangle setup here in A. If G2 want to go back, they're going to be met by so much opposition. That smoke, Valen, he's trying to finesse in the minds that maybe Fnatic are going to back up, but they're ahead of this, so it's a hard read right now from Fnatic, they know.
Boaster still playing close by. If they fully commit to this B fight, he has a paranoia that he can hit from there. It's all off the cue from Alpha, but he gives the space up.
Look at how far back the trips are from Hero.
Leaf's gonna get tagged. The Hunter's Fury has been invested. Leaf is already dead.
What a setup.
No corner is safe. Valen's left in a 1v3, and yeah, he has the spike, but again, it's these miserable 1vx situations.
That was so sick from Fnatic. What a great round. And Alpha just spams him through the smoke. That's how the game's been going. Everything in favor for Fnatic. But to take all of A control after Alfier wins that 1v1, it allows for Chronicle to have that crazy Hunter's Fury line. If anybody goes garage off the trip, if anybody goes front B off a contact. And that's exactly what happened. That was such a nice set play. Look at this. I mean, it's beautiful Valorant right now.
It takes the entire map away.
Yeah.
Right? You remove a full third by denying A main space, and then you've got the ult that's just going to deny everything else.
And right now, like I said, I've been so surprised that G2 haven't tried to speed up C long at all, because that has really been the weakest area for Fnatic so far on this map. But they took so long to identify it. And it's just too late at this moment. There's 3 members pushing up A long right now. Leaf is, he's going to have to create a miracle right now with this Guardian.
Meanwhile, Icy's ulting on the other side. They're going to try to accelerate, as you were mentioning, towards C, but you're right, it's probably too little too late, and Leaf has been left with so much to do. Meanwhile, Icy trying to get back sight off of the flashes. Leaf dealt with. The site still up for grabs. You still have so many members of Fnatic that are playing close by. Icy trying to swing out the Bucky from that distance. Will not connect, but Valen will. How do you deal with Durka, though? Number situation, the pit invested, Trent on the swing, Chronicle dead. And now the pit in play. Can they do anything to get rid of this? He's gonna flip the map, he's gonna get out. Valen's fully TP'd, but finally commits back. Deciding that with Durka dealt with, this is the strong site. Alfier's 20 HP in a 1v3, but they're leaving. They're quietly making an exit.
30 seconds left.
So tense right now. Even with Alpha being at 20 HP, look at the respect that is being given by G2. They understand that he's popping off. They understand that they need this round. They need the 9-3. Oh, that was close.
All 3 members that are up for G2 have taken damage. Some notably worse for wear than others. No, one benefit is that they're all playing together, so Alfier has to very carefully and cautiously check every single corner. And then there's the Viper wall he has to deal with too.
Yeah, and either way he goes right now, he's going to get swung by Valen.
The tap. Where's the swing? Where's the challenge? Where's the dare? They all want to swing at the exact same time. And G2 will get their third. Fnatic again, I mean, borderline perfect for that entire half.
Yeah, that's a wonderful half for Fnatic. Alfier was popping off. Durka was popping off. Hero had his moments in the backside of A, or backside of C.
We'll see what G2 can do on the other half of this. Maybe there's hope. It doesn't seem likely. We'll be right back.
Duels, they're taking aggressive aim fights. And when their aim is on point like that, it's just so hard to play against. Now, I will say that Trent, last time they played this map, he was a big key to the success of G2 in beating EDG. He had a very, very huge defensive half. So he's going to need to step up again.
The setup here, I mean, you can see it. The writing is on the walls. Any sort of contact. Valen's got the flash.
Oh, yeah.
And then the fight ensues. The question is, will there be enough of a trigger? Will there be enough to tip the scales?
But this is the Fnatic approach. We're going to contact up mid. Maybe we'll go garage, break the alarm bot, make you have to re-clear that space. And then while all that's happening, look at A-Site.
Yeah, it's up for grabs. It's free.
You take everything.
They can waltz their way in.
Yeah. And G2, they are known for their retake approach on a lot of maps.
It's going to be tested here if they want to try to pull this off. They're going exploring now. Across the middle of the map again. Two there. Found Alfier again. Gets away with murder.
And now are you ready for the second? You're not.
No. No way.
And Trent just got spammed all the way in heaven. Look at how far. Look at the minimap. Look at where he got spammed at.
Yeah, he's so deep.
What a pistol round from Fnatic.
What a map from Fnatic.
This is why they're undefeated on it.
I mean, I'm hard-pressed to identify anything that you can look and go, oh, they probably should have done that better. Where do you go? Where do you look?
I guess Alpha should have won that second ISO ult that he got. That's about it.
How dare that guy not win every single ult?
How dare he?
Unbelievable.
Leaf is in a 1v3, though. And he gets flanked. Durka. Too much for him to handle. Fnatic are running away with this one. This is a very fast-paced map.
He's 20-6.
And this is without a shield, by the way. Oh, look at the spam.
Yeah, there's that deep kill you were talking about up in heaven.
Unreal.
And then the layers. There was no way that you'd be expecting Durka in a position like that.
Nice here, actually. That's a really nice idea. That's actually kind of genius.
He's talking about that cam on the post plant that was watching short and long. They're having fun with it, Doug.
Wouldn't you be having fun if you were up 7 rounds in an elimination match at Champs?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's really no gun to fight back here for G2, but I think this is just going to continue to be like a styling performance out from Fnatic.
And Alpha almost has another ultimate.
The second round of the half.
He's going to have it for the bonus, and he has a Vandal already.
If he can walk through this unscathed, and then he's got the shield, and then I mean, it's perfect.
The setup is so beautiful, too. Oh, as I say that, the cam gets picked up. So now nobody's looking short A. G2, they're so worried, though. Oh, they're about to be met by Alpha. This guy's about to pop off. Oh, he can't handle the pressure.
In the face of 3, he does fall. No real way to upgrade the weapon. And they're just going to walk into Fnatic's crosshairs again.
Just a hard freeze to the round, and while it's happening, the actual hit is coming through at B. It's just beautiful play right now from Fnatic. I can't stress it enough.
30 seconds left.
Boaster is calling such a good game. Leaf, he gets a Vandal.
And he puts it right back down as quickly as he scooped it up. Now Chronicle on the swing back side will clean up the last 2 members. Fnatic get up 11-3.
Yeah, and that's the Vandal grabbed by Boaster as well. So all the good guns that they needed, they have into this round, and they're 1 orb off of the ISO ult.
This is just, again,
it's good awareness from the side of Fnatic. They understand how to play in these anti-eco situations. When you get up numbers, it's pretty likely that the defense are going to try to even it out.
That's whatever.
Yeah, it looks like G2 are just going to have fun with it as well. Maybe just go next map. I don't think Fnatic's undefeated streak is going to end here.
No, I don't think it will. That's some hard-hitting analysis there, Trey.
I mean, bruh.
What in the world can G2 do?
Warm up.
Yeah.
That's what they can do.
Go next.
Try to start hitting some shots.
That's a good start.
There you go. But again, as soon as you kill one, you should expect the other. That's how it's been so far.
And
I think
the other
Leaf
is on the move.
And I think Leaf has an idea of it too. That's why he picked up the CT area.
They're concerned about it. Alfier's timing. It's leaving a little bit to be desired there. They're going to commit to getting the spike down with no real resistance.
Spike planted.
And Alpha's still in this window area.
Leaf's going to clean him up, but how do you expect the other? I mean, he was surrounded. He thought he could deal with what was happening B main. No real idea of what was happening garage. And now they're not even necessarily concerned with dealing with the spike and covering for it. Look at Chronicle's position. Just so aggressive. A brawly approach. And well, for good reason, it's all gone their way. A turn of the flash. No kill found. A 2v2 now. Icy weak. Valen not much better off.
Alpha's just going to ult the diffuser. This round should be done.
This map is very likely done.
It's done. It's a save from G2. They know they don't have time. And yeah, it's because of that positioning from Chronicle. He basically just slips the net. And yeah, he's on an island there, but he buys enough time for this to happen right here. That spike goes off. It was a great start to the round for Leaf. But Alpha, who just sat in window the entire time, didn't get re-cleared.
It's like
And again, just cut the map in half. Again, it's what you said. It just feels like it's so smothering for
It feels
G2.
small, yeah. Again, Chronicle's position. It's tough to point this out because, again, from top to bottom, G2 have struggled. I see it at 3 and 14.
Yeah, the head-to-head, it's been rough. Even starting on the attacking side on Yoru, sometimes it can feel impossible to entry. That jump spot's going to spot a lot of people.
Hello, off the paranoia. They're going to bait all that out, and yeah, they're going to lose full A main control, but Fnatic wisely accelerating, taking the rest of the map.
They're not even taking the map, they're taking heads. Taking names.
Fnatic up into a 5v3 situation. Boaster again on the prowl, behind enemy lines.
It just feels like there's always somebody behind G2.
There's really nothing that's safe. And
And
again,
even-
I know I've mentioned it a couple times, but it feels this way once more. The map feels small. It feels so claustrophobic for G2.
What
And Fnatic are just running circles around G2, a 13-3 stomp. And again, really nothing will be paramount for G2 as they're fighting for their life, not just in this tournament, but again, for the year. Against a team that seemed perfect on Haven. Very little error. We'll see if their attacks at Unbind reflects a similar performance.
We'll also see if Alpha pops off on the Gecko. If he's farming and he's getting those orbs like he did on the ISO, that Thrash can be very, very devastating as well.
I mean, we've talked so much about how instrumental of a tool that it can be. Oftentimes seeing it in a bonus and that converting into 3 rounds, 4, snowball into 5, 6.
Yeah, but look at this, Doug. Jonah P. and I believe it's who? Trent.
Yep.
They've gone on a solo mission right now, and they're really deep behind enemy lines.
There's nothing to cover it. The only thing that might catch him is if they decide to turn around. Jonah P on the prowl with, again, Trent over his shoulder. Every single target spotted, every single corner checked. Now, finally, gunfire erupts as Alfier's the first to fall. Hero's going to join in as Chronicle on the swing. Not able to settle. Finally does onto Trent. Delivers on a second. Jonah P down, and now numbers equal.
That's so insane that we're in a 3v3 right now with how the start of that round went for G2.
The possibility, the ability to capitalize on a moment and to swing things their way. But again, Fnatic on the counterpunch.
Yeah, and Boaster, he's in pocket right now. He has all this space. He's controlling all of U-Haul. The smoke on site to separate. He might go hunting for a play of his own right now.
So it's just tough 50-50 to be in. You can choose to swing in, you can choose to take the fight, or you can tuck inside of it, but be careful, they're gonna check you, they're gonna swing you! Leaf cleans him up, the spike does not get planted. Chronicle's doing his best to frag his way into the round, but time will expire. Yes, another kill comes through for Chronicle, but G2 get the pistol.
Some crazy shots out of Chronicle to even the score. But the nade that Icy held onto from the start of that round, with the time going so low, Fnatic, they were left to their devices. They just couldn't get that spike planted in time. And Boaster, he got caught at the worst moment trying to re-smoke that. This last shot was beautiful. Nice settle on a Jonah P. That was almost really bad, though, for G2.
Yeah, it was.
But now, finally, some confidence going back in favor. And Icy, he got 2 into that round. Sheriff headshot to start off.
He's got the outlaw this round. A little bit of pace out from Fnatic.
Yeah.
Durka the first to fight with the Bucky in hand.
And when we think about Bind, we think of, players giving up the A site, but playing back site. This time around, it's Heaven, Spawn, Shower.
That doesn't feel good. That does not feel good. Heroes down, Boaster. Surely not along for this world much longer. 6 HP. Somehow gets away and buys some time. It's upgraded to Weapon 2 as a Bulldog in hand.
Yeah, the members are low right now on G2. Look at Valen, 20 HP. Chronicles going for the late flank.
What a bloody mess this would be. But that's a Bulldog down. flash on the other side as they try to push through the wall. Jonah P on the snap to Alphair, but Durka on the exchange.
It's a stick.
Icy's gotten it to half. He's the last one left standing in a 1v2. With the outlaw in hand, has found his one. But Durka on the other side with a Bucky again. There's just not a lot of time on this. Durka can swing, but he's gonna hold it. Oh my goodness. The MasterCard Thrifty as Fnatic tie us up.
0.05 seconds. I was praising G2 from their setup, but Leaf, he got absolutely sniped by Alpha, I believe, with a classic. He was in heaven and he got deleted. Gotta see the replay on that.
Surely we get one more look. Yeah, this was a tough spot to be in, and Hero taking one down with them, but that shot out from Alpha is just filth.
Nastiness, and now G2. That's so bad for them. What a round from Fnatic. Stealing it away.
Again, such a desperate need for something to go your way. And the window has been shut. Fnatic now, they're the ones with the gun advantage. They're the ones with the outlaw. They're the ones with the rifles.
And I was setting it up in the last map. Fnatic are a team that when given a lot of space, they're able to formulate the correct plan most of the time. It's when teams smother them as well. Take the fight to Fnatic. When they're the ones getting headshotted instead. Where they fall apart, they crumble.
You have to step into the ring, and you have to be willing to fight. You have to be willing to brawl.
You cannot show this team the amount of respect that G2 is showing them right now. But it's so tough because that's the bread and butter for G2. That's been their success all year long.
You mentioned that this matchup really doesn't seem to favor G2, and at least for now we're tied, but Fnatic looking like we're just waiting for another round to come through.
They have such a good read on everything. They get the first blood most of the time on their attacking rounds. I mean, keep in mind, Haven is their map, but
right, sure.
But right now, anti-eco, they get the pick. They freeze. They don't rush the plan. They set late flanks up like this. And then once they start getting confident, I mean, Alpha, he's just going to try to get his ultimate online. 2 orbs off of it. 1 away now from that Thrash. Chronicle 1 away from the Viper's Pit.
And the most devastating part of all that is that they all upgraded weapons. They're all carrying rifles into the next.
Yeah, their economy is insane right now. It's what happens when you win a Thrifty the way that they did.
And then convert the next with really no disadvantage.
And the economy for G2, once you guys see it after this replay, you're going to see it's an absolute shambles. That's why you see Boaster buying the Outlaw. He knows that a lot of players on G2 are going to have light armor.
It's only Valen with full armor here. The biggest investment, the greatest spend.
And that's so hard to play against because once they figure out that Boaster has one, I mean, it might be too late. They might have an entry onto the actual site. So it's this 2-pronged approach again, this contact style on Fnatic's attack. One person will walk up, the other one will hold an angle for him, and they'll gather space like that.
Playing anti, and Chronicle just plays his position perfectly.
Beautiful. They were so ready, and now, yeah, what's the reaction? Oh!
That's a hell of a reaction there.
Yeah.
Valen not taking any damage, dealing with the Outlaw, and tying things up before. The pit's still in play for Chronicle, though. And you mentioned that at the end of the previous round, Alpha 1 away from his Thrash.
Yeah, if he can get that B long. That should be a free B site. But it's going to be...
Durka's got to be careful here. There's a lot of lean towards B. If he tries to take the TP, they have lost sand. We'll see if Hero can do anything about it. The Prowler attempt to pave the way, instantly cleared out. There's Alpha's Thrash. Now they can go forward. Now they can commit.
Really good molly to delay, but Chronicle spams Trent in the process. And he's just going to clean up house.
He's gotten 3 on the round already. The spike down, the Thrash back up online, and Icy and Valen left to answer a miserable question. Do you try to go for this?
It's 4v2.
Do you save?
Oh, this was bad last time around for Fnatic, but Chronicle, he's taking things into his own hands. He has 4 to the round, and Durka will clean it up. Again, nothing going the way of G2. The pistol round, it looked promising, but even so, with that late flank that they had, they still made it even numbers. They really have to fight for every inch. Oh, he was full blind.
Dude, I thought he was playing anti with how clean that was. Forget it.
He was in the beginning, but sometimes it just goes your way. The follow-up, though, is what was most impressive. A true one-man army on the site.
Way too easy.
Yeah, I would say that was nice. I must agree with Durka there.
And although it was Alpha popping off and Durka popping off in the last map, Chronicle, he was kind of quiet. He's now sitting at 10-2. Didn't even need to commit that Viper's Pit.
Not a bad performance at all.
And he probably won't commit it this round either.
There's no reason to, really.
Blinded.
It'll most likely be a very slow approach, seeing for any type of aggression G2 does. 2 Stingers, 3 Sheriffs across the board. Some ult economy working up towards G2. So not all is lost. It's just an info game now, Durka. He has an idea.
Dude, they read the bait.
Yeah, he's sniffing it out.
Jonah P was supposed to be the trap.
But with those 2 players being seen in hookah, that's what causes the speed up in short A, but it's still a contact approach. Now the pop. He's gonna be able to pick that one up. The delay on A.
They realize they don't have full showers control because, again, of Hero's positioning and because of his utility. Boaster, careful now. Again, almost getting caught in utility, realizing that he's being hunted, he's being pushed, he's being pressed, and he's been dealt with.
30 seconds left.
Again,
Yeah, he got caught out sleeping.
I mean, but again, such a small victory in light of every other devastating defeat. Hero again finding 2 quick kills. They've kept this one competitive. Sure, they're tied at 3 apiece. Gen, just as quickly as I say that, the advantage goes away at Fnatic.
Yeah, the mid-rounding from Boaster, it's been very good the last couple days. Yeah, yesterday they lost, but the stuff he was doing on Abyss, the decisions he was making, really got them back into it.
A map that they felt like they should have been able to get away with. Any attempt at a retake is instantly stuffed. It's squelched, it's stymied, it's completely obliterated.
The around-the-world strat.
Take a look at it one more time. Again, Boaster was caught in a position, and again, there was just this tiniest of windows where we thought G2 might be able to catapult this into an advantage of any kind. But the response from Fnatic.
Nice listening to me, boys.
See, that mid-rounding that I was speaking of. He's hit a flow state right now. He might not be at the top of the scoreboard. He's quite the opposite of that, including the last game. But it doesn't matter when you're winning stuff 13-3. And now you're up 4-1 against G2 on one of their best maps.
Scout destroyed.
It's still early in this stage of the tournament. But remember, this hardware has what's been so elusive to Fnatic in their time together. If they keep playing like this, I mean, it might be high time.
Yeah. And they're picking the right site right now. Just now the rotation made it in from Trent. But it's so hard to hold against this double initiator comp.
Dude, the C's nade was nice. Durka knew exactly where he was going to be. They popped the ult. He's going to find another. Trent falls. Icy's going to try to exchange with his own. Waiting for the right time to strike. Pulls the trigger. Does connect onto Durka. Just a sliver of health to his name. Now disposed of. Nade's going to separate things for just a moment. Again, keep a close eye on Icy's position. Val, no smokes. He's got the molly, and he's caught with utility out. Terrible timing. Can Icy deliver for G2 with Boaster on the other side? Yes, he can. A 3K for him as the defuse comes through, and G2 get their second.
The problem is it's ugly for G2. Icy, it is good that he's stepping up big in this moment. I said he's very comfortable on this map. He's very confident. But it was so hard fought. It's not consistent to rely on him like this. So yeah, it will be G2's second round win. But off of what? Off of heroics. Seems like G2 are getting caught in these weird moments. Valen with a molly out. He heard Alphier use that Gecko Flash.
One round at a time has to be the approach. It has to be the mentality for the #2 seed from Americas. 4 ults to speak of on the defensive side. And they're big ones.
And Fnatic, they're going to run it back. They like what they saw last time around. Durka gets a freebie on the Leaf. Not close enough with that judge. And now it's the follow-up. I mean, Jonah P has to give.
Durka with a lot to deal with. And not able to find any of it. Trent's positioning was really nice. Jonah P on the swing. This feels a lot more brawly. This feels notably more bellicose. But again, advantage Fnatic. A deep hit now that they're going to attempt to counter, but Valen will crumble. under the weight of the moment, under the dominance of Fnatic.
Fnatic are making G2 look so uncomfortable. They're making G2 play a different game that we're not used to seeing, Doug. They don't look controlled. They don't look poised. They look like they're rushing things, rushing steps even. And it's all because of the way that Boaster is calling. There needs to be a timeout for G2. They need to gather their bearings. Because Fnatic, if they keep going in this exchange, they're going to take this one away. It might be another 9-3 half.
G2 decides to leave hands off the wheels for now. Josh not calling a timeout.
You could really feel the weight of the moment getting into the head of G2.
And early flash on the swing. Yeah, they have a little bit of space sand, but nothing really to do with it.
And the thing is that they get that space and Fnatic will take space elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's very reactionary.
The pendulum may swing one way, but Fnatic will quickly take what's given to them. I think the other alarming thing to consider is G2 dumped almost every ult they had into that previous round. Durka now satcheling up, perched over the site, trying to stare into heaven's window.
No one's holding his U-Haul right now. I guess I say that as Chronicle picks it up, but they're ahead of that.
Now he realizes where they're coming from.
Icy's been so good on this map. This nade Molly combo.
Again, there's futility in trying to stand in front of the utility. They're instantly flushed out. 3 members stunned. No need to swing. They can take the fights exactly when they want them. As soon as you have attention drawn one place, the hit comes from elsewhere.
This Fnatic, they look insane. This is the #1 seed from EMEA.
They look like it. They're playing like it.
Yeah, they're playing so together. It's something that I praise G2 for doing quite often.
I mean, that's their calling card usually. But the truth is, Fnatic have taken that approach, they've added their own flavor to it, and they're obliterating G2 with it.
The individual playmaking for G2, it's just not there. Consistently, second in an A, consistently.
I mean, to be on the podium in Shanghai and to bow out like this after a brutal stomp from Fnatic would be just devastating. But the truth is, again, Fnatic have just played perfect.
So this time around, it will be a Viper's Pit committed into B long by Leaf. Usually the reaction of teams is to either flip from hookah or just go towards A. G2 have the fighting squad here. Valen, Icy, and Trent. And they're really aggressive and short. But there's pings. There's pings from Fnatic to clear out close areas.
Alfear 1 point away from his Thrash. The Prowler spotting the first. That crossfire is going to get dealt with.
Icy stuck. He uses a satchel, but he doesn't get out.
He uses the second one to try to find safe passage, and somehow, by the thinnest of margins, manages to survive.
But that's no satchels now to cut the ice, to cut the cake on the retake.
We'll see if they even get that far. Fnatic calling a freeze into the round. The second Prowler through. Chronicle was glowing Phantom, pushing his way forward for Fnatic. Eye goes out, Wingman goes through. Plant not committed yet. They're going to try to flip back. Not fully convinced that they like what they see. Additionally, they've left Chronicle.
Oh, barrel scene. Jonapete takes out Boaster.
That's a punish. How much more can they find? Leaf with 2, make that 3. A great response. How Chronicle was planted over A is left alone.
It was good calling from Boaster.
10 seconds
He was just a little too far ahead. The barrel was seen by Jonapete on site, and that was enough for Leaf to just absolutely mow down everybody jumping out of hookah. But the call was good. Boaster baited the rotation from Trent back over to A off of the tap of the spike. The transition with the TP was good. The execution just wasn't quite there. But again, it feels like it was heroics. Felt like Leaf really had to pop off in this moment. If Leaf falls early, if he goes 1 for 1.
He doesn't do that.
If he goes 1 for 1, I think Fnatic take that round. They're just playing as more of a unit right now. It's way more cohesive.
Little bit of an aggressive look towards Showers.
Oh, he's going to get detained here.
Alfier's here, and you're right, he's got the thrash.
There's even a tether being held out.
There are 3 here. This could be devastating.
And Astra Orb is going to be on the left side as well if they actually want to commit into Showers. This is a really nice setup.
First ping on the minimap, there's the eye. Cleared. Icy's position still concealed.
That is 2 smokes baited out in 30 seconds of this round, though. So Fnatic, they're aware that for the retake, G2 only have 1 Brim smoke left. That'll give them the opportunity to contact up short, because if that smoke is used too early on, G2 will not have enough utility to stall the plant.
And so it leaves Valorant in such a miserable condition and position. When does he invest it there? He decides
There it
to.
is.
The
But he has nothing else. Valorant's going to die. Whoa. That was so close.
Just barely finding the safe space amongst all the lava. Icy tucked in the smoke, the nade, the satchel. He's buying time. He's trying to delay as best as he can. Trend able to get 2. Icy on the swing. Durka there. Satchels exchanged. And it's only 2 on the side of Fnatic now. Holy smokes. He does that, and now he's got the ult. Icy so weak. Durka gets another. A 2v3. This was a 2v5, if I'm not mistaken. If they can convert this, what in the world will be left? Boaster spotting 1. A 1v3 left to convert. Confidence from the captain as he delivers another. Can he find clarity in the calamity? No! Jonah P saves the day for G2.
Boaster's always so close, but he can never finish. But what a round from Trent. He got 3 in CT. And Jonah P winning the head-to-head. Full steam forward, full confidence ahead. Look at the spam. Great spray control. And this time around, G2 did a really good job of holding back sight. Durka, he almost brought this one back.
Boaster almost brought it back too. I mean,
Yeah. No, this pre-fire one tap was cold. We didn't get to see it.
it doesn't have to be pretty.
Can't trust it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be pretty, and it hasn't been for G2. Let's not mince words here.
Let's keep it a buck.
But they still find themselves within 2 rounds.
Yeah, finally bringing it back, getting some momentum back in their own favor. Icy can't connect, but he has a showstopper of his own. If it's a commit onto this B site, that showstopper's gonna do some mad damage.
What lights the fuse, though? What's the primer? Gen P on the swing, spotting 2 here. Leaf has been dealt with, but Icy, the firing squad over his shoulder.
What a great trade from Icy.
Able to equalize.
It is 1 for 1, though. Every time G2 go down numbers, they double up towards this A site. They'll push together, whether that's short. This time around, it's going to be Showers. But they're so spread.
3 cheating towards a short, and they've invested the Seekers here.
Yeah.
They've been starved, they've been deprived of information.
They don't like the silence.
It's deafening. Hero now, position given away. He's been spotted, he's been cleaned up. Cautious now because Boaster's gonna be on this late flank. Is there anything to spot him? Is there anything to stop him? Just a bit short of being the hero that Fnatic needed in the previous round, and he might be able to clean it up. Icy choosing wisely to hold onto the rocket for just a bit longer, not connecting. Again, Boaster on the flank, taking his time, patiently prowling his way forward, and playing everything to near perfection. Another kill found. As Dirk is going to join in on it, they've got to deal with him. Trent's gotten it to half, but that's all it can be so far. As Valent's left alone, he's going to get dropped. Fnatic gets to 7 as Durka gets 3.
What a reflank from Boaster, getting a pick, making sure that Gecko cannot defuse the spike, and Durka coming up huge. 16 and 6 for the lad. He hasn't slowed down since last map. And when you think of Durka, you think of great raise plays. You think of bind as well. And this is the attacking side he's doing this, where he has to be the entry. But it's actually in the mid to late round where he's finding most success.
Outlaw in the hands of Boaster. For good reason, light armor on 4 of 5 members for G2. Between that and the Guardian, there's so many things that could punish. There's so many things that could hurt.
Fnatic have done a really good job of trying to identify where their aggressiveness is from G2 in these rounds, in these early rounds. And Boaster has done a great job formulating a plan in the mid-round. Look at this. They're abusing the B-Long Viper Orb. They're so far ahead of this. They should be aware that it's going to be a hookah walkdown, or players at least corralled in hookah.
Yeah, I mean, Boaster's going to see it, or at least he almost had a timing on it. Heroes in such a brutal spot. They know that he's there. He's been dealt with.
The speed up on B site, though. The spike should get planted.
And now they can go ahead and try to take back site. If Durka really wants to, he can push all the way to spawn. It looks like it's exactly what he's doing. Trent has to be careful.
He's not planted.
He's going to be the first on the swing. And he just can't stand up to Durka.
Just so unaware. They're aware that Chronicle is here, though. Valen made contact with him, but the timing.
Icy. Stomping like a Clydesdale around the way as Chronicle gets two. And now the Cosmic Divide has torn them asunder. Separated. Silenced. How do Leaf and Valen get back into this? Look at Alfier's position. It's gorgeous. Posted up on the other side of the wall. All the info he can possibly gather, but Valen.
His barrel was sticking out.
He's gotten it down to a 2v2 to close the half. A tap of the spike, but it's not committed. Leaf just walks into his death. Valen on the tap. No real way to pull this off. He's gotten it down to one, but again, time is short. He's got to commit to this, but he runs away. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Fnatic hit 8.
Another great half called by Boaster. It's not 9-3, but 8-4.
I mean,
you'll take it.
It's damn close.
And it felt like they were in the driver's wheel the entire time. Look at that little barrel. Unfortunate, but it didn't even matter.
Oh my god. One hookah, one long.
I mean, maybe from family members in positions like this. I mean, the reality of the matter is, though, G2 are in a position for dreams to become nightmares. If they cannot convert on this attack half of mine, their year is done. Meanwhile, Fnatic, masters and commanders of their fate.
They've been taking the fight to G2 all series long. Jonah P's gonna get caught here. He's dead. He's done.
He has no idea. A quick tap, assassination style. Never knew it hit him.
And look at how slow G2 are to make a decision. They want to take the teleporter.
But they decide in that moment, just briefly, to dig their heels in and turn and fight. And so that equalizes things for at least just a little bit of 3v3 Alfia with 2 HP. Trent not much better off. A stiff win cleans up both. Do they realize how close Hero is? Valen's the first to fall. They're gonna have to attempt to fight for this retake. Boaster now joining the fray. He's healthy too with the ghost in hand. Silence, just a moment of pause as G2 realize this is a desperate need to pull off this pistol, and it's gotten down to one. Trent is so weak. Boaster left in a 1v1. A catastrophic call to arms for G2.
Will this be the one, Doug?
Boaster's gotten it to half. The spray coming through, 40 HP again, just a tap, just a dare. There's the swing, he spots the heal. He's nipping at it, but again, the timing, the position from Trent is gorgeous. The kill comes through for Boaster, but the round for G2.
And the second pistol round as well on top of it. Good proactivity from Fnatic, but they couldn't settle.
Remember though, this is where disaster struck in the first half. Yeah, they got the pistol. It was messy, but it worked. And this is where things changed.
And I almost want to see G2 take a more aggressive approach to this anti-eco. I don't think they will, Doug, because they're not a team that likes to really do that and take risks in a round when you don't need to.
That's not the G2 way.
But it really feels like they need to make some magic here. They need to really start feeling it.
Durka with the Bucky again. 2 satchels. No armor. 18 and 8. Chronicle falls. Alfia does too. And so far, G2 with a much better attempt at holding the line.
And 2 rounds shown now that G2 like to do a 4-1 heavy lean towards B. This is all conditioning. Next round, maybe you'll see a change of pace. Maybe a look towards showers. But for now, it's just a freeze of the round, using Sky utility for more info. It's timing. Is Boaster gonna find it? Barely misses it.
Hero just eyed back showers, didn't tag anyone. including Leaf. So now he can fill in on the space behind him. If they want to commit to B, they can, but they can also take the T. Well, I guess they can't anymore.
Yeah.
Spike planted.
Just letting Wingman plant that.
Yeah, now Leaf on the move.
And the contingency plan of him as well, just as you said.
Heavy numbers from G2 back towards B. There was that first satchel. Still one more to try to propel him back into stealing another round away from G2.
And this is where G2 shine. They get the spike planted. It's the post-plant scenarios. The cycle of utility, the fighting together. Leaf also getting a kill on the Boaster from the flank. That's going to live rent-free in the rest of Fnatic's head. Now they have to be worried. Yeah, it's only an anti-eco, but still. Every round moving forward, when you see the main pack of G2, you're going to have somebody staying, holding for Leaf. So it was a little bit of aggression towards B long, but ultimately a freeze. And free picks going their way. A lot of light armor on the side of Fnatic. That's why you see the Outlaw invested by Leaf, and he's deadly with this weapon.
Their money's in such a good spot, too. I mean, if they can convert this, we might have a game on our hands.
Yep. We're within 2 rounds right now. That's that look I was telling you about in showers, the change of pace, the new look. Sky's shown towards B the first 2 rounds.
Now the dog out A.
Yep, that keeps 3 members of G2 of Fnatic towards A site. But it's a heavy lean B. That spike is right there.
They hear him there. And Alfier gets enough info. They realize they hear the stimmy. They know they're coming.
Yeah, let me get out of here. That's what he's saying right now. Trent, one off a Thrash. But there's nobody towards the A side of the map right now for G2. So if they go back, there's going to be a lot they need to clear.
He's got to be careful. That Prowler did not connect, but Leaf has made a lot of noise. Boaster should know that he's here, but he's so careful, so quietly and so cautiously cutting up at the angle as he tries to swing. Boaster's still in a really good spot, though. Is there anything to flush him out? They don't have the dog. He does have a flash.
They're going to have to wait these smokes out, but he's just going to cycle them. The power of Astra is what we're seeing right now.
As it goes down, bullets erupt off the stun. No passage in. No safety found. But they've got Boaster controlled. They've got him cornered. They've got him cleared, and now there's going to be a fight through the other side of the TP. What can Leaf do? He's in such a brutal spot with an Outlaw in hand. Joan P is going to join him. The Thrash clearing back out elbow. Don't think that connected. Yeah, Alfier still in a really good spot. Look at Icy's position. As soon as he gets on the move, there may be something going on here. As Trent trying to keep them back. Durka will fall. And now they push. They're trapped in the telly.
Upgrades across the board. They're going to have to sit in this teleporter for as long as they can. But if you look at the minimap, look at Icy. He's going to flank him.
At least enough to open the door.
And that's an upgrade for the Bulldog.
He can Roomba his way through the TP. That's exactly what he's going to do. The door will open. Oh no, it trolled him a little bit. The angle wasn't great. Chronicle might survive this. They did their damnedest, but it wasn't enough. The angle on the Roomba is what doesn't open the door, and that's why Chronicle keeps the gun. Look, they needed
tiniest of margins.
They needed the bonus, and they got it.
Yeah, we have a game on our hands now.
Gotcha.
You can never truly count G2 out, especially on a map like Bind. As dominant as that attack half was for Fnatic.
I hit him 70.
They almost made me forget for a second who G2 was as a team.
The reminders will have to keep coming.
Look at this investment from Fnatic. 4 Buckies. Oh, he's in there.
The goop just obfuscates everything. There's no way for him to know. There was no way for him to go.
He couldn't do anything at all.
All right, maybe the other Buckies will find some success.
Or maybe it'll be Alfier who just walked all the way down B long. But Valen, he's holding the flank.
Chronicle the only one with a weapon, and now that sits harmlessly on the ground in showers.
Deleted.
This is such a patient, disciplined freeze. This is, I mean, this is G2 Valorant right here.
Show some utility, take control of whether the previous anti-eco was B long this time. Take control of short A, freeze the round, wait for a walk-in.
They must be cautious here. That flash did not tag, but the Outlaw will. Boaster tried getting into a position to punish, but he could not succeed. And so now G2 again are in a position where they, I mean, barring something going really sideways, they can carry even more of these weapons over. The finances will continue to boom.
Look at the economy right now. They're going to have a couple players hitting max cash.
Yeah.
Probably invest in shorties every single round. So good on a map like this where there's a lot of smokes, a lot of Viper orbs you can play off of. Alfie, heard that reload. He's trying to cheese this kill on the Leaf, and he just might do it.
There's the wall. There's the snap. Alfier's down. Leaf's now 3 away from having his ult. And Hero falls.
Yeah. And honestly, Fnatic are a team that likes to buy a lot of light armors. They like to invest in rounds just like this. And that's why you're going to see Leaf using this Outlaw and trying to punish that a lot more.
Jerka was in such a miserable spot, man.
Yeah.
Roomba, he pops a satchel, and then he can't see it.
Where are you going to go?
Yo, zero doubt, boys. Zero doubt we're winning this game.
Let's go.
Get me the Lotus.
Let's go, Jacob.
Yeah, they can feel it in the server right now.
There's Comp. Who's got his ult? Yeah, you're right. Boaster's a little bit away from, you're just 1 away from having his. We'll see what they dial up. You see that orb instantly go through. A little bit of presence towards Fountain from G2.
Oh, Hero, he was trying to block that orb, but he just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, not able to hit the headbutt. A recalled smoke results in a kill on both sides.
Kills like that usually tend to favor the attacking side. Be long space gathered.
That's so nice from Boaster, understanding all of the space that's been taken and realizing that that's their weak spot. Valorant has to be careful here. He's going to try to get across. They hear him. They know he's there, and they're going to try to cut him off. There he is. He's been spotted. He's been dropped.
That's the cue to take B site, though, and they're going to flip. They're not out of this just yet.
A 4v3 the way Fnatic, and again, Alfier's got his thrash. Such a powerful tool in the retake. The thing is, it's from really far back. G2 showing a lot of respect here.
Yeah, no real value gathered from that thrash. He might be able to pick it up, though, and Wingman could get on the spike.
The Mosh will buy a little bit of time to deny some of the flood out if that's what their attempt was. Dizzy over the top, tagging a couple.
But it's not halved. It should have been halved.
When do G2 go? They might not get the chance. Jonah P gets dealt with.
A great retake. Using that thrash to identify if anybody's playing up close or in sight. The Fate Prowlers to clear out all of Hookah. And then from there, it was a never-ending cycle of damage utility onto the actual choke, where any members of G2 could actually kill the diffuser.
That trade out from Hero at the beginning of the round, you mentioned it, it tends to favor the attack, but when you're able to dispose of one and then you have Valen on the rotate, who gets dropped, doesn't have the ult to really be able to contribute or do anything like that, that's just such a massive advantage.
I feel like Valen in this map specifically has been getting caught out with his utility out quite a bit.
Yeah. And for as much as we saw Boaster almost getting punished in those exact same situations, he managed to stay alive.
Yeah.
The opposing IGL not nearly as fortunate.
All for the timeout. It was an answer back from Fnatic. Can they maintain this pressure?
They're going to try to accelerate here at blistering pace as they've invested the ult back toward U-Haul, and that's going to flood him out. The problem is they haven't taken back sight.
And another problem is there was no delay.
He's got to know. They have to know that there's a flank, but are they expecting two? Jonah P has been asked to make a stand. Can he deliver? He's going to spot the first, but he can't clean him up. Can Icy do what his teammate could not? No! Another round dominantly going the way of Fnatic. What can Leaf and Trent do? They're going to invest the pit? Such a disadvantageous situation, and now they're going to invest the showstopper on the other side, and it's all on to Leaf. Still trying to play around the pit, and he can't find safe space in. What a costly round.
Yeah, such a big investment. It does get kind of close there, but a 4v2. Durka had the showstopper to match the Viper's pit. And nobody dropped from Fnatic either. A little bit of a free kill there again on the Valen.
Yeah. Maybe they dropped one, but honestly, every single advantage has gone the way of Fnatic.
The last timeout is about to be used from G2.
I missed who he was talking about.
10-2. He's still up there, man. And now we have an operator online. Durka, he was looking very snappy on Haven.
All of Fnatic has looked snappy, to be honest.
I will say G2 are a team that tend to do very well against operators.
So they bully Hero off this initial angle. They get Trent as ult. Now what? Where do they go from here? There's that op creeping forward, holding the line. And now they freeze around this. They've gotten Durka in a really good position. Now they can play the rest of the map the way they want.
Yeah, you can almost heavy lean towards A like you're seeing on the mini-map. The problem with Bind is Hookah, it's wide open. When you don't run a Sentinel, you kind of need a player there for peace of mind. Boaster's kind of reading into it, though.
Yeah, the orb goes up, and Chronicle realizes there's a real good chance of someone on the other side. A couple of warning shots delivered, but responded to.
Yeah. And with no utility being invested from the attacking side, Boaster has to double back. It's going to be a slow re-clear of this Hookah area.
Yeah, and you mentioned just a couple of moments ago that this is the weak spot. This is what's unclear. Durka's gotten a little bit further up.
Had he had done that, what, a second ago, he probably gets one?
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
The interesting thing here, too, is it's
30 seconds
all
left.
of this duelist utility that's intended to make noise, but he's got to find safe passage out. What a snap from Icy. Where do they go from here, though? They can try to lean back to the other side of the map if they want. Alfie, our spotting wingman, with spike in hand, will fall. 13 seconds left. They've burned this candle down really low. Can they flood behind it? The spam coming through. Trent's dead, but the spike down. The attack in an advantageous position. Icy on the swing, but Leaf on the kill. Boaster and Hero left standing, and they've gotten it down to 2. Hero cannot stand any longer. He's left Boaster by himself with ult in hand in a 1v2. And then he still has to get the spike defused, trying to very carefully play every single position. Face checks the smoke. Valen gets the kill. G2 get 9.
Doug, what an entry from Icy in that moment. Durka peeks into him with the operator. You think it's going to go in his favor, but he gets sat down. Look at this. Perfect crosshair placement in the post plant. Cleaning up Alpha in that moment, who had a real big window of opportunity to take him out. And then at the end there, G2 just playing that 2v1 very, very well.
But they're still down 1. There's still problems that have to be solved.
If they can win this round, though, the economy of Fnatic, it's going to be broken. We're already seeing...
Durka's in a really good spot, man. A cheeky little angle. Is there anything to clear it? Do they expect it? Maybe a flash? Yeah, it's exactly what it is. The smokes go down, the Dizzy goes through. The one-way's been disrespected. They fully cleared it, and Trent's all the way backside already. Boaster's been dropped. They're going to try to push into spawn. The problem is they don't have U-Haul control. This is danger on the other side. Jonah P still has a flash, but he's been spotted out on the swing. The Thrash, he's been tagged. He's been dropped. A 4v3 advantage the way of the attack still, but they've got to realize they don't have any control of short. Leaf knocked on the door. He tried sniffing his way in, but he couldn't. And so now the swing back towards Showers. Icy with so much to deal with. How do you drop the Turk? You cannot. The time is so short, though. Fnatic have to accelerate. They have to go, and they have to go now if they want to have a shot at this. I don't think there's enough time. They've tied the freaking game.
G2 in the post plants, and Icy with another entry into heaven. He satchels all the way up. What a nice set play to answer for that Viper's Pit in short A. That was so decisive. They read into that, Doug. Boaster, he gets caught with his pants down. And Alpha, he didn't press mouse 1. His teammate dies because of it.
Run. Nice.
So now the economy, there's still a bit of a buy for Fnatic, but it's light armors on most of the players. They do have a lot of good retake ults.
Meanwhile, the stock market continuing to boom for G2.
And think about how many different looks Valen has showed so far. The last 2 rounds has been everything Showers. That's why you see Fnatic now trying to fight for it.
Hero and Chronicle both here.
Oh, Leaf, he's been so deadly in holding these angles.
That's not quite gonna be enough! Belief settles and gets 2! Perfectly teed up!
That's a free A site as well.
And so they flip the map, feeling some of the pressure, dealing some of their own, and now they've tucked tail, they've gotten away. Jonah P will be the casualty, but the site is theirs. Numbers the way of the attack. Icy hearing that. You gotta realize Alfier's waiting on the other side. It's messy, but it works.
It's another save.
And you're right, the economy now. The Great Depression that Fnatic have hit. They have to save.
They just cannot break through the post plants. This is the G2 everybody knows. The fundamentals on point. The calling on point. Icy on bind, popping off. He's not having, you know, a 20 bomb performance, but the entries he's been getting, it's like night and day from the last map. So G2 will now take the lead in this series once more. 11-10. No ultimates were even being able to be used by Fnatic. They're still sitting on the Astra ult, still sitting on Fade ult, and they still are forced to buy into this. It's been scrappy buys for the last 2 rounds.
They're towing the line.
Trying to make something out of nothing.
Early flash out towards Showers again.
Yeah, they just showed B long in the previous round. Now Fnatic are probably thinking, oh, is it going to be 3 members taking that? Are they walking in?
Well, remember, it was a couple of rounds ago. The flash came out, Hero got pushed off the angle, and they took Showers, they took the orb. And so that's where the threat is, but the Prowler's going to confirm there's no one there. They're going to fully commit out onto the crunch, though. Trent's dead.
Get spammed.
That's a spike, well out of reach. Those little T-Rex arms aren't going to reach that.
Those ones aren't either.
But they're going to have to try. Tucked
Durka
behind the cover of the smokes, they push their way forward. Icy's dead! Oh my gosh! Alpha here's filthy!
That was so quick, Boaster. He's gonna clean up Leaf as well. But it was ultimately Hero with that Fade ultimate and the confidence that it gave him to swing out and take out Trent, isolating the bomb on site.
Fnatic refused to relent. They refused to fold.
What a fight.
There's that ult that you were talking about, and then the swing, and yeah, Hero gets another one there, but this right here from Alpha here. Those two, as Valen was trying to find cover in the smoke, is denied that safety.
And Doug, at the start of that round, the setup was to deal with that 3-man walk-in if that was to happen. Hero was jiggling with a tether out. Alphair was B-long towards the TP, ready for the crunch.
They're satcheling off the flash. They're trying to spot and punish Boaster, and they do. A considerable amount of damage dealt, but it's really lethality that's found on the other side. Leaf is dead. Of course, it's Chronicle. He started the map hot. He might be the one to close it. Icy satchels into his death. It's again disaster. What does Trent do here?
He's gonna die. He's left to his devices. Fnatic are giving ones though, but Hero will take him out. Fnatic did such a good job of weathering that storm. G2 not being able to execute Boaster in that moment. They had a window here. But Chronicle was the one that got the first blood instead, and that allowed everybody on this site, on B, to just mow them down. The power of Astra, we saw it on the attacking side in the post plant. This time around,
We win the game, okay?
Alfie are so determined, but this time around, it was the suck from Boaster, who, if he had been taken out, that hookah pop goes a completely different way. And just like that, Fnatic answer back and are on match point. And it's gonna be a Showers crunch. Is this the end?
There's danger here. They've got to realize that. Oh. You've got Durka and you've got Alfear waiting on the other side, and Alfear has his ult.
They want to pull the trigger so bad.
But Hero gives the space up. Vacates that aggressive angle.
They're still here. They still want it. Here it comes, Doug.
Can they weather this? It's 1 for 1. Meanwhile, G2 seem to have stabilized, at least for a little bit, but Alpha here invests the Thrash. He's dealt with, he's done. Chronicle and Boaster left standing. G2 continue to play things down to the thinnest of margins. The most unforgiving of moments. But barring a clutch, OT may be on the cards. Boaster has his ult. How does he invest it here?
Spike planted.
The thing is Valorant still has a molly, still has a stim. If he doesn't get taken out, even if that Astra ult goes up, it's not going to be enough.
There it is. It goes up. Chronicle's going to buy a little bit of time. There's the molly that you were speaking of.
And the re-wrap as well, short A. Look at Leaf.
There's no idea for them to know if it's on right now because they're still waiting on the other side of the wall. This one coming through will connect onto Leaf. Still work to be done. Poster has gotten it to half. There's the flash. There's the swing. And Chronicle gets all three. Heartbreak for G2.